Choo choo train, wind me up, I do my thing. Um, and That's been the day. Obviously, you had the big SFP this morning coming in, mitigating the low, the blast off, the retest, which is VWAP right here. We got VWAP, VWAP retest continuation. We took this trade, but we weren't confident in it, so we closed it out. And then obviously blasting through VWAP, coming into our golden pocket area, bounced quickly, took that out. Okay. Then rolled over to our 786 macro level, got long in here. Currently stop loss entry right in here, and taking 300 out of that. So we're just chilling now. We'll see if it does want to continue. I don't think this is the bottom, but you know what? You never know. You never know. That's why you take the trade, you take some profit off, you let it ride, baby. And hopefully we can let this thing ride into the sunset. If not, I'm sure we'll find another entry. When we're looking at this, so yeah, it's a crazy ass day, right? Like, I mean, we got Trump tariffs coming our way. I'm sure you can talk about that. And I went and did $500 worth of groceries last night because I'm Canadian and we're getting slapped with the tariffs. I'm sure tacos are going to go up in price because you buy all your American salsa. I don't know. I don't know what you buy that's American, but Canada buys a lot of American stuff. So we went and did a big grocery shopping yesterday and preparing for the worst. You prepare for the worst, and if anything better happens, it's good. You know what I mean? So low expectations, right? So we can talk about the key levels, how we traded this. How we got into this really is it's very simple, right? So we have obviously the Trump tweet. Then we have the short we closed out too early last night or yesterday morning. So we took the short from here. We closed that out. Obviously, regret closing that out early. I mean, this was, a big move down. So we have a couple options here, right? We blasted right through last night. We blasted right through our golden pocket retracement zone. Okay, you can see down, 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 down. Golden pocket, non-existence. 786 level. We got a little bit of a bounce. Doesn't mean we're out of the woods just yet. It just means that this is a potential opportunity for price to come down and have some sort of bounce and retracement before possibly coming into our golden pocket here and continuing. Okay, so this is still a downtrend. Don't be fooled. We did not mitigate any highs up here. We were talking about this yesterday, how we have a series of lower highs and lower lows, right? If we are going on a more of a macro, we can see that we still have a downtrend in here, not really changing just yet. So we want to see strength come in. So now the high to take becomes in 95,000, meaning we need to get up and close, I would say, at least a 15-minute candle above this high here in order to flip bullishly. Until then, we should be favoring shorts. That's going to be a very critical endeavor for Bitcoin to do. Now, we have liquidity above us. We have liquidity below us, right? Critical level, I would say 72,000 if we do decide to roll over. What I would be looking for in the near future would be something along the lines of order block, double bottom, or sweep of the low, okay? If we don't bounce from here. If we don't bounce from where we are right now, liquidity in the lows in here, we come down into here and we get some sort of bottoming structure and out we go. Okay, whether it's a flush, Trump tariffs, Canada shuts off the power in the United States, and they're threatening to do that. They're threatening to turn off all the power in northern Michigan because Ontario, we have the Niagara Falls dams and we have a lot of energy. So they're threatening to turn off all the electricity for northeastern the states. So that could be a very messy situation. That's all I got to say about that. I stay out of it. If my power cuts off, I'm sorry. I will see you when it goes back on. Maybe I just turn everything off immediately and just pretend my power got shut off. And then I don't have to work for the rest of the day.
I'll
But
send you.
we wouldn't do that to OC.
I'll send
Oh, so
you
you would check
a
the
dancing, a
Twitter right
jumping
away. You'd
bean
be like,
generator, brother.
oh, okay. I just back my truck up and hook it up to the power supply, and here we go. Plug it into my Tesla. No, I'm joking. I don't have a Tesla. I have a big gas guzzling Forerunner, baby. Let's go. Because electric vehicles, they get like half the mileage in cold weather. It's pretty pathetic. Uh, yeah, like it says 600 kilometers on like a Tesla Model Y, but it only goes like 400 in Canada. It's so
Man.
stupid. Yeah. Anyways, frozen batteries don't
Yeah.
work as well. Yeah, so looking for a general bounce here. Will we get it? Guys, it's in this situation, it's about taking the trades in high probable areas and managing your risk. You can't If you're going to participate, you can make a lot of money or you can get stopped out really quickly. Okay, that's your options right now. So you want to take trades, you want to take profits early, you want to put stop loss to entry. You don't want to be a victim in this situation, right? Like for me, uh, my whole trading thesis this morning, came down, mitigation of low, higher low, out, right? Pushed up, came down, long, out, okay? Came down, bounced, long, out, okay? Came down, bounced, long, mostly out, okay, and still trying to run here. Stop loss at entry. Okay, so very safe trading. Take the money and run kind of deal. That's what I suggest you do here. We'll see how Bitcoin reacts. Looking like we're getting a little bit of a push out of the 786 level, so we'll see if we can continue upwards. This looks like a nice golden pocket bounce. Let me just check here. 0.5 bounce, so flagging out here. Could get something like this where you either break here or you come back down and then you go. Okay, short-term time-wise, but just be patient. Take your setups. Don't overtrade. Pay yourselves, and that's definitely where we're at. And shout out to the new person here. We'll definitely try to help you navigate these charts. I'm a short-term time trader, whereas OC's much more long-term. But we can go both ways. That's what she said, and we like to have fun here as well.
Absolutely. Couldn't
I
be
went
more
there
agree with you,
already.
brother. That was a very educational setup there, right there.
It's
Loved it, man.
educational with entertainment. It's entertain jewel or something like that.
Love it, love it. Buck, what's up, my friend? Welcome to Upstage. I brought it up because I want to have your perspective of what's going on with the miners setup. I heard right now Alex talked about the area of falls. I know tension is big right now between the three of the countries. We have Canada with Alex of Crypto. We have US with Buck. We have Mexico with me. We all are very tense, and none of us likes those rate cuts, right? I mean, of course, why would we like it? In the citizenship part, I think we're not that mad to say it so. We know this is part of politics, and well, there's not much that we can do other than act and react in exactly what we're doing, trading in the markets, because the markets doesn't really get affected in terms of volatility, right? Well, we will get volatility, but we can extract value up from the upward or downwards movement. I talked about in the Piper Academy show their breaking point. But Buck, let me pass the microphone to you, my friend.
What do you want to talk about? Sorry, I lost half
Sorry, I talked too much.
Tacos, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. How are the turf doing on your side? How did it feel? What do you think about them? And how do you see your next month future in the States?
So I honestly, long term, I like the idea of tariffs because I do not like the idea of income tax. I think income tax is schmucky and it's a total scam show, right? Like we weren't even supposed to have it until we decided we want to pay for World War II. Um, so like it's a scam. I like the idea of it, but I feel like it's gonna hurt a lot more before it gets better, right? Like everybody has to feel rowdy amounts of pain, people losing jobs. When the federal government is 40% of your 20 to 30% of your employment, like you're fucked, right? Like at the end of the day, you're not producing anything. All you're doing is living off the government tit.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
does.
it's that short term, right? Like you've been paying for everything, and now all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, this isn't working. We're massive debt, paying for everybody else's problems. I understand the tariffs, even being on the reciprocating end of it. I understand it. So
The scary part is, man,
as
this
long
looks
as
a
we
lot
beat you in
like
hockey, I don't, I'm all right.
the part I find scary is it looks like a repeat of what happened in 2007 timeframe when the commercial market started falling apart first, and then the money started drying up. The banks start looking at loans and going, "Oh, you're kiting. You don't have enough cash to cover that anyway. Fuck you. I'm not, issuing out the cash on those jobs." That was probably the scariest time I've ever had in business, and it looks like it's lining up for that same stuff all over again.
Yeah, it's wild.
Absolutely. Also, credit for myself says, Bug healing is always painful. Yes, it is. And that is something that I do admire about your president, guys. It has the balls to do stuff, right? Rather good or bad, he is taking the lead. And I think that's what it's needed. Also, I agree with Alex. The crypto being in the receiving part is not that fun. Still agree with it. And we are also, I mean, I believe, not for sure, don't take my word for this exact statement, but I believe Mexico is going to also be applying some tariff to the States, which also is going to increment the way. And I talked about this in Piper Academy, right? How right now, aluminum, it's been scarce. Why? Because we're not being importing and we're not buying anymore from the outside because it's more costly because of tariff, right? So, but our production in Mexico is just not enough. So what's going to happen? Short-term scenario, prices are going to skyrocket. People are not going to be able to afford something that they had been able to afford, not anymore. So you're going to feel like you're more poor, right? Or that inflation is going up, which is not the case. It's just supply and demand. And then because whoever can pay for it, it's paying more, there's going to be a business opportunity, right? Where there's going to be a new overvalue. And guys, we're human. It always happens. You see somebody's doing well, you go and do the same freaking shit, right? And then somebody else do it, copy you. And then somebody else go and copy that other guy, and so on and so forth, until there's overproduction. What happens with that overproduction? We go over that tipping point where prices start being lower to a certain point based on your salary. So not only tariff is one part of it, it's also GDP and also there is a tax that, well, whatever. The taxes over the products. So basically, where you get taxed twice or three times over one same thing, we get like three times tax over the same thing in different things. So that over taxation also generates inflation, or it generates artificial inflation. Just wanted to say, throw that up. So it's a part of a process. But in the meantime, Buck, how is mining, my friend? I heard you had an opportunity. You're seeking an opportunity because of miners. Something's happening in the market, and miners are having a best value in return.
Yeah, so when the hash rate dumps, right? So if there's a chart that I use that tracks hash rate, Bitcoin pricing, and you can see when the miner's hash rate starts falling through the floor. The key to it is you crank your miners up and hit as much hash as you can when everybody quits, right? The hard part is a lot of times when everybody else is shutting down their miners, it's at the same time that everybody's getting rebates back on their energy. So the big equipment places, like the guys who are buying tons and tons of power, they're getting kickbacks back from their energy companies and getting their rates blended, which gives them the overall rate of looking like they're at 4.5, 4.3 cents per kilowatt hour. But I mean, technically they're paying closer to what everybody else is paying, but that way they can keep their numbers looking good. I'm actually going the opposite. Whenever I see the hash rate dump on the charts, that's when I gear up my machines and have them overclock by 15 to 20%. And I just like mining because at the end of the day, like I feel like it's the best way to DCA into Bitcoin because you're never going to notice that electricity cost, right? So just throwing on an S19 or something like that and just letting it roll, or if you can find a way for it to do something else for your property. Like I got one that's heating my pool at my house, right? So like instead of spending the money on energy for my pool heater, I'm using the immersion tank to run through a heat exchanger and heat my pool water.
Oh, love it. Also, I want to ask you one last thing before we go into trade setups. Guys, also start dropping whatever assets you want us to take a look at. I remember you mentioned something around Tesla. Ready for my soul. So if you want us to take a look at, please let us know. Buck, and also, by the way, guys, I'm about to finish installation of solar panels. I went over killing it. I made it such that my production will make my energy a supplier pay me instead of me paying them, if that makes sense. I just overstocked solar panels. I had up to two batteries so far. I'm gonna be stacking up to 7 for being able to be sustainable for a whole week. But also Buck mentioned, what about mining? And I was, you know what? I did consider it in a point, but I did not was thinking it serious. And now, since Buck has been talking about it, I have scaled that mining chance almost as my secondary next investment. So what would you recommend anyone to get started with? And what would you recommend me with how of a beefy setup I have for solar panels?
Getting it started easy. Just go with like an S19, something that's been around for forever, right? Try to stay away from the brand new machines that come out because you have no idea what bugs or stupid shit's going to happen and they got to work it out. Once you've got something mining or whatever and you want to get heavy into it, kicking up to the 3-phase is the way to go, right? So even if you're paying for a digital phase converter or phase inverter, I mean, it's worth it because your yield is that much higher. The name of the game is as much hash as you can for as least amount of energy cost as possible. You can even go direct from solar panels and do your inverters into 3-phase, and that way you're utilizing that power the best.
Absolutely. Something that I've been battling is EMP. So I run also a three-phase router for a CNC machine, and man, that's been a headache. I isolated everything with aluminum, wiring, everything's connected to ground. Man, I stick a freaking well worth of pipe or a huge pipe on my well just to do a great connection with earth or ground. But yeah, I'm working on it. So Alex, let me pass it over to you, my friend. What do you have in mind? And I'm going to be pulling up Tesla afterwards. Buck, do you want to pull up something or are you busy right now with the charts?
I'm good,
Wait,
man.
I feel like I'm wasting
What
your
is
time.
what Bucks in a short and a link short?
I just got
Nice.
out of it.
Uh-oh. He saw me go long, that's why.
Perfect. We
I've been
also
playing
have
this thing
Pi.
off the VWAP all morning. So I've got an anchored VWAP from that last dump, and I just play it from the bottom band to the center, then from the top band back to the center again, so I can try to jump in and out. Trying to be more like the Ninja Otter, but I ain't quite there yet.
You're there. Come on, you're doing great. Can we look at pie? What is I mean, I love pie. Apple pie, blueberry pie. I won't be rude. I was about to say something rude, but I'm learning to curve my carpenter mouth. Pie. So the Pi Network. I mean, I have a lot of people, my friends, getting into this thing on back in the day, man, all the way back, way back, way back. Maybe this is not the right chart. I think this is the right chart. Pi, yeah. Okay. What can we see? Always just use your brain. What do you see? Okay, you see a critical level here. You see a critical level here. Okay, so you always want to mark out kind of where we're at, right? What we're looking for here, and using our tools appropriately is going to be the best, especially if we want to take advantage of not cream pie. I was thinking hair pie, but yeah, there we go. It came out. I couldn't help myself. Anyways, we'll get back to trading here. We're looking, we're looking for- oh. So for this, right? Obviously, in a clear downtrend, what I would be looking for is, yes, we've mitigated this high here. So you're looking for this low right here to hold. This is going to be your be all end all area of which, hey, we need to hold here in order to continue upwards. Now you can get some more key areas here to be interested in. Let's see where some volume is traded on this thing and our predictive ranges. That's going to give me a better idea. So yes, coming into resistance here, we got some volume in here as well, right at our golden pocket, which does line up. Let's see fixed range in here as well. Yeah, so right in here is definitely an area of interest that we're looking for pi to bounce from. Okay, so just trying to isolate price and where it's at and how to take advantage of it. That's what we want to do, right? We want to participate in this thing safely. Where's my predictive ranges, man? I'm gonna have some beef here. Where the heck are my predictive ranges? It's got to be over here. Here we go. There we go. I knew they were there somewhere. So going into here, we've identified point of control, $1.70. Okay, so $1.70 is going to be, this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be setting a trap. Every time you're looking to trade, you're setting a trap for price to return to and bounce off of, or get up to and reject off of, right? You want to catch the move. So that would mean we're looking for key areas of confluence, which this is discount, right? So you can see we are bouncing off of our one of our key levels here, the gray level here. So we do have multiple confluences all pointing in here. Point of control, predictive ranges, golden pocket. So everything points to, if we are going to continue, because we have a change in character here, right? So we have a higher high suggesting an uptrend as long as this low holds, right? And this low holds. So we do not want to see this low lost. We want to see this hold and bounce from here. That's what we should be looking for. So in all ideas, we're looking for a typical long here, very easy invalidation point here, and looking for continuation onwards and upwards, giving ourselves a little bit of wiggle room because it is an altcoin where we can look to target back up to the golden zone here, because guess what? We zoomed out and we identified where's the key target, psychological $2, right? So we're looking to take this up to that $2 level. Obviously, things are bearish, so we need to be patient here, right? We need things to come into our zones, have a nice reaction. Maybe we get like a nice bullish divergence down in here, right? Higher low and continuation up with bull divs, right? Into our low here. Okay, and we bounce, something like that. So you want to plan for this to come back into a key level, because you want to be taking trades at key levels. You don't want to be just pressing buy here and then have this thing come against you and then go, right? You'd much rather get in the trade when it starts going the right way, right? You don't want to sit through this drawdown. So I'm a big fan of that. Now, obviously, this is an altcoin, so be very cautious with pi. You don't want to, you don't want to get any kind of disease from the pi. You want to make sure it's a nice pi, and make sure that you are taking a very healthy trade. Okay, so the good thing is that you have taken this high in here. Okay, and a lot of hype, right? A lot of hype. You can see it in the price action. So maintaining a strong uptrend is going to be critical, but any sort of retracement, we look to buy up from here just because of market structure. Holding the zero line would be pretty bullish too on a higher term time frame, but that's what I'd be looking for on pi if you are going to continue onwards and upwards, coming back for some liquidity in the highs here. Obviously, your take profits would be in the liquidity in this high, then this high in here, trying to target up into here, okay? And that's how I would treat the pi. But be careful with the pi. Last pi joke.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Alex. Let me bring up Tesla. And also, I want to answer a question from, who is it? Mike Parrott. This is all great. However, I thought this was a live class to learn chart prime. Yes, it is. If you remember, we started with the analysis of Bitcoin using the indicators. Something that is important to note, we don't longer go step by step on how to set up each indicator. Remember, every single day we have new members. So doing the same class over and over and over will not only not provide value, but also it's going to be very boring for the rest of all of our subscribers. So what we have done is that we have a setup on starting guides. So let me post it, show you here what is my recommended way to do so. First of all, check out the class recordings. All right. Or you know what? Let's get started with important classes. Important classes. It's going to get you, of course, important classes. Watch video number 1. It is outdated. You need to understand that. But everything works the same. All right. Then watch class number 3. That will update your knowledge on where the stuff got changed. They just 2 things changed, right? So you'll be up in there. At the end of the first class, I give you a complete setup on how to open a trade, how to use the indicators to open a trade, how to calculate your entry, how to calculate your stop loss, where to take early profits, where to take majority of your trade, how to trail your trade, and where to reverse your trade, all right? So basically I cover that up. Also, in quick tips, let me see, in quick tips inside of, I believe important classes, you also see that there's going to be my how to trade the bull market setup. So I also advise you to take a look at that. After that, go check out the tutorials, the Chart Prime tutorials. Let me post it over here. And also have in hand your quick setup, which is the docs, the Chart Prime docs. Let me also show them to you here. Here you go, Chart Prime docs. And then visit this live classes. We are going to be live trading as much as possible, also giving you any setups that you are or whatever you're looking at, so you understand how we use the indicators. On real life, you'll have different perspective on longer time frames, shorter time frames, different assets, everything that you may request. And also Mondays are 101. So basically we guide you through any basic questions that you may want to or you may have. So, but you need to watch those videos. Class of Tuesday, or like today class, usually we make enough room for new members that have already watched those videos, that have further and more intricate questions, to go over those questions and give you live feedback and setups on those questions. Finally, tomorrow we just take a look at the big market data. Thursday we go in depth with one single topic and we dismantle it and explain it full. And Friday we just prepare for the weekend. So follow those steps and I guarantee you that you're going to be up and running in no time. I estimate that you can start making confident trades as soon as within 3 days, if you know nothing about trading, and up to a week. So just keep in mind that there is a process to be learned on what everything does, how to use it in the market, and then come to learn how we use it in real life scenarios. So you build up your own strategy. So that's what I usually give it between 3 days and 1 week, so you can feel comfortable with the results that you have come up with on your own side. So that's what I got there. Let me start sharing my screen and going over Tesla. Just removing all of the news that we're not going to be looking at. All right, TSLA, created for my soul. You mentioned that if we have power for batteries. Yeah, I do. I don't have a Tesla though, but I'm also interested on the company and the stocks. I do own Tesla stocks. Oh, that's not crypto. It's all here. TSLA. There we go. So let's take a look at here. It's falling and it's falling hard, even on daily. I'm not that worried about this, all right? Yes, decisions, stuff that they come within the company they may do, but it's already a consolidated industry, and it's a consolidated business, and it's an industry leader. All right, so I'm not that afraid of this movement. Of course, it's going to suffer. Yes, it's going to suffer as we see markets turning around. But also remember that right now they're trying to lower interest rates on the states. That was a statement from the office. So we'll see how that plays out. But also that might bring up a bounce. So the first thing that I want to do is to figure out the trend, right? On daily, it's pretty easy. It's just, am I above or below dynamic reactor? I'm below dynamic reactor, 1.4 bearish trend, all right? What's my prime score? 1, another point for bearish trend. Am I above or below the 0 line on my oscillator? I'm below, so another point for bearish trend. So far for bullish trend, I have none. All right, so I know I'm bearish. Another thing that I'm seeing here is that I have red candles. Red candles, based on my configuration, daily and 4-hour, give me a very nice representation whether I'm bullish or bearish. So if I'm bearish, I'm usually gonna be looking for either if it's a fake out, or if I should be aiming more of doing shorts than longs. All right. So let me clear this up. Is this a fake out? I don't think so. Everything is suffering. Everything is below, right? Until something fundamental happens, which is news, which is government doing something, or which is maybe the company getting access to a whole lot of capitalization. This thing is not going to be changing like with a V-shaped recovery. I expect it to play out something around either this movement here or this movement here. I'm going more around this one here. And let me show you why. Let me start turning on my indicators, and we have a bunch of support in here. Another thing that is important, it is that we're having a higher low on our oscillator, and also we have a double bottom reversal, which for me indicates that most likely we're going to be peaking between, look at that, my previous weekly high and my previous weekly low, a support and a resistance and dynamic reactor. As you can see, I'm using my indicators to build up that confluence. This is an answer to Mac Parrot. So this is a little bit on how we teach the indicators. Look at how am I using the indicators to build up strength or areas of strength, right? It's not because I'm bearish, I'm just, all right, I'm going to short it wherever. No, I'm looking at where is my high concentration bearish point based on my indicators, and where is my high concentration bullish zone, which is right now and all the way down here. So what am I going to be doing? Well, since I'm already into a zone, I either can take a trade, but I'm not going to be recommending it, or waiting for the next reaction. What will be the next reaction? Well, if the price comes all the way down here, that's going to be a signal for me for a long entry to then bounce to the next previous support that becomes new resistance, right? So this is going to be my first trade. TP number one, move stop to entry, take your profit, and then let it run in case it keeps going up. If not, you already have taken profits and you have nothing to lose because you moved your stop to entry. If you're doing contracts, which is, futures contracts, well then, remember that you can get two puts and two calls, right? And then use them as you may wish. Remember, when you take your TP1, should be covering at least one of your contrary puts or calls, right? So this is for Tesla daily. Let's go for a lower time frame because you're talking about that you are going to the intraday trading. So that usually it is within times of day trading, right? So between times open and close market. The first thing I'm going to be going for, it is a trend line here, all right? Another thing that's happening, it is that I have enough air in here for the price action. Look at that. Whenever I have enough air, the price action corrects either to the upside or ranges over time. So either corrects over time or over price, all right? Same thing here. I think we have enough air to start looking for an overprice or over time correction. So what would be my possible entry? I need to start looking for support and resistances. All right, look at that, support and loud order block. So look at that. I could be jumping in here, getting out here at the best case scenario with TP number one in the middle. All right, if you're rather waiting for the rejection, wait for it to break trend line. Maybe you can short it here, all the way down here, flip it as we are back above the zero line, and then long it as you have your confirmation for a long position. So those are a couple of things that you might be interested in looking at. Let me see if I have another indicator that might add to my position there, or maybe tell me otherwise, because I also need to think that maybe I'm looking at with a fixed perspective. All right, so look at that. I have previous monthly low, I have a predict range, and I'm at the bottom of my oscillator. So yeah, a long position at the bottom could be it, but right now I'm moving already to the upside. So a short position at the top could be worth taking. So hopefully that helped with your setup. Let me pass it over to you guys.
You're too good, man. I can't back that up. Um, so like new people here, like what is it that you're struggling with? What is it? So you want to become a trader. You've obviously invested into Chart Prime. You believe your tools are going to help you, which they are if you know how to use them. Right? Like for me as a carpenter, like if I have a handsaw versus a skill saw, I'm not going to be able to cut wood as fast, right? So this is a tool that we can use to help you guys get better, right? Anxiety, I see anxiety. I see you guys having trouble. So how do you get rid of anxiety with trading? Well, I'll tell you exactly what you're not doing then. If you're having anxiety, you're not risking 1% per trade. Okay, 1 and 2. Uh, I added to my long in here, by the way. Um, so what we're trying to do is manage this amongst this. Okay, so you have to have predefined risk. Okay, this is going to be critical. Okay, this part will come. I always talk about this being your gas money to get to work, and you take a whole bunch of trades all week, and at the end of the day you get a payment. Okay, this is your payment for getting to work. Okay, this doesn't change. Your gas doesn't take more money. It's not like you drive to work in a Prius one day and then you drive to work in a tank the other day. Okay, your gas money should be fixed. Okay, whether it's you're risking $500 per trade, you're risking $1 per trade, you're risking $10 per trade, that needs to remain the same. Okay, if you're not doing that, that's going to lead to anxiety because you're risking too much of your account. And if you're risking too much of your account, that means when you take losses, it's going to destroy your account. Okay, because we're trying to put probabilities in our favor. We're not going to be right all the time. If I have a 70, 80% win rate and I take a win, 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 loss, 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 win, 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 that's pretty good, right? You're pretty like even keel within this. But what happens when you take loss, 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 loss? Then you go win, 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 win. Can your account handle this? No, it won't unless you're managing your risk. You know, you put probabilities in your favor, like I did here, right? So I'm looking for, what am I looking for? We have an 786 bounce. I've hit take profit once, coming back into the middle of the range VWAP. Okay. We have a golden pocket retracement area that I'm interested in. Can we bounce out of that? So I'm waiting until we put in a high here. We haven't taken that high. I'm waiting. It comes in here and it bounces. I add to my trade. Guess what? Take profit again, right? It comes back up, right? But to me, I've added to this knowing that if we go below this low, I'm wrong. That is my invalidation point. That's where I manage my risk. And that's how I enter this trade. Okay? So, one, I have a plan. Two, I'm not risking too much of my account per trade. And I'm executing something that I've tested over and over again. The way you're going to build an idea, a plan, a strategy is you're going to have to test. You're going to have to go through and be like, what am I looking for? Right? Have I seen this before? What is this? This is a liquidity grab below this low in here, giving me a bullish divergence. I understand the higher term time frames. Okay, I know that this is making a bull div on a half-hour time frame or an hourly time frame or a 1 hour time frame because I know I'm putting in a lower low and a higher high. Look at that. Right? So I'm having confluence on my higher term time frames to justify taking a long in here where I can look for it to come back to the middle of the range. Right? It's a plan, right? And then you just execute the plan that you've executed a million times. In my case, you take profit along the way, you put your stop loss to entry, which it is now, and you look for it to continue. And if it comes against you, you take your money and you run, right? But you have to have that plan first. These tools, look, I can target the first target, going to be hit, liquidity level, bullish, meaning, oh, look, if I hit this liquidity level, I have a potential to continue up because it's bullish. Okay, if this was a big red liquidity level, I'd be looking for this to get rejected from here. Okay, tools, right? Bullish bounce here, right? So we come up to there. First target hit, take profit 1. Oh, look, order block in here, VWAP here. Okay, maybe I want to take profit 2 here. And then if we go all the way up to the top of the range, I'll take profit up at the high here. Okay, so a plan, a take profit plan, a stop loss plan, right? All of that is decided before you get into the trade, right? And that's going to be what separates you from taking the market's money and the market taking your money. There's a reason why only 5% of traders are profitable. There's a very big reason why. It's because they go, oh, this looks good. Let me press buy here. Close your damn exchange. Stop trading on your phone. Okay? I close my exchange when I'm not near a trade setup. If I don't have a key level and I'm not near a trade, I close my exchange. I don't even look at it. I look at my trading view. Okay? When we start, okay, we're coming back in here. I'm not looking for this level anymore. Now, if we're going to come back down, I'm looking for an SFP. I'll be out of my trade, but I'll look for an SFP at the low of this here. So I'm not looking for a trade until we come into here. I can look for a rejection at VWAP, possible, if I get the right criteria, right? But I don't keep my exchange open, come to my computer and just go, oh, this looks like it's going to go up. Buy. That's not what the, right? Because I know it. People do it because I used to do it, right? So call yourself out, be accountable, right? Take high probability trades, manage your risk because you're going to be wrong. You're supposed to be wrong. You're supposed to be wrong. These tools are going to help you be right more often. VWAP, quantum bands coming up. Looks like a little bit of rejection. Can we push through here, Buck, and come peek our head over the cliff and get rejected? Quite possibly, right? What would I want to see? Because we are in an uptrend now. If we do push up in here, right? I would like to see a rejection here. And then a higher low come into here. So I could look to take this trade back down into here if I wanted to. Because we are in a macro downtrend. Okay, so just trying to help you guys align your thinking up. What it takes to be profitable, what it takes to take trades like this in here, how to find those levels, right? And the tools are going to help you do that. But look, we're coming into major resistance. There's your quantum reactor. There's your VWAP. There's your support and resistance area. There's your previous high. You're coming into a lot of shit right here, right? You don't have to be a wizard. You just got to go, okay, there's this here. There's this here. There's this here, fair value gap. There's VWAP here. Where is everything pointing for a rejection right now? Did you take profit? Right? Or are you trading on a higher time frame and you're looking to come up into this order block here, right? And this is your target. And these are where you're looking to take profits. And you're looking for this fair value gap. And you have a much wider time trade here. So you've taken the long from here. Your stop loss is below there, but your target is up, let's say up here. So you got a nice 2-to-1 and you've entered the trade now. Your stop loss is below that low. Very different, right? Very different. So you have to understand, are you working full time? Are you busy? Are you on the charts all the time? Are you not on the charts all the time? Do you want to come in and trade quickly? Do you want to take a trade and hold it? Right? Are you looking to swing trade? Right? And we can help you like develop all those skills. It's just you need to identify that for yourself and then stay focused on that. Stop, I think, flip-flopping between, oh, I'm going to add VWAP now. I'm going to add some, I'm going to add some support and resistance. I'm going to add some Bollinger Bands, and then I'm going to add some RSI, and then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of order blocks on there and a little bit of Mexican spaghetti with Parmigiana, and then I'm going to make a money. No, pick 3, learn 3, master 3, then add. Okay, I mean, I teach this stuff all the time, and I still basically use 3. I use an oscillator, I use support and resistance, I use VWAP, and I use order blocks and fibs. That's it. That's it. And they're all at key levels. At the end of the day, I find my key levels and I wait. That's me all day long. Key level weight, key level weight, key level weight. Is it in my key level? Yes. Can I execute a trade here? Yes. Beautiful long, right? Beautiful long off the bottom. But it takes practice. It takes adding all these confluences. The tools are going to really help you. But you got to understand what you're trying to do first before you get into trading, right? And how to maximize, your idea. But at the end of the day, if you take high probability trades with good risk management, you have a chance. The biggest problem people have is they always have to be right. I'd much rather take a $300 loss and continue trading, not taking a $1,200 loss and ruin my account, right? Yesterday is a good example of this, okay? I took a lot of trades yesterday. Let me show you guys. This is from the 2nd all the way to the 3rd, okay? I'll show you my trading day because you can't really cheat this on the exchange here. I wish, I'm not a liar. So you got here, you got the 2nd here, you got the 3rd here. Okay, so this is the 3rd yesterday, all the way to the 4th here. So I can't fake this. This is my trading day from yesterday, right? And you can see here, $60 win, 120, 100, 100, $350 loss. My maximum drawdown $300, right? So I'm up $100 for the day. Okay? Break even trade, 120, 300, 500. Okay? I'm up $1,000 for the day because I didn't think I was right for too long. I cut my losses. I took the next high probability trade setup and I made my money, right? But you have to be a good loser in this. That's the number one thing I could suggest is you have to know how to get into a trade. Where am I wrong? And then risk 1% per trade, 2% at max, and go from there. Otherwise, you're going to wreck yourself. I feel like I'm giving a lot of these lessons a lot lately.
Absolutely. It's because of the bear market. I mean, most of us are kind of like a shake it because of the kind of we feel like
What a
rug
long,
pull,
bro.
right? What is it?
This is a great long, I tell you that
I
much.
see it, bro. It's just not stopping. Nice. Love it. Oh, let's it's almost time for us to wrap it up. So Buck, thank you so much for joining. Alex, would you like to say the goodbyes before we go out into the next event?
Yeah, have a wonderful day, everybody. I mean, trading is waiting.
Absolutely.
And then
Fun, fellas.
managing risk.
Guys, thank you so much for watching. And as always, see you guys tomorrow. By the way, last Friday session, I believe it's up there for the Plus members. I think it's there. So let me know. If not, make a comment, make a thread, and request it. I'm going to be also checking it out to see if I missed it or something. But other than that, guys, thank you so much. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.